welcome, beloveds, to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you are moving into living life truly on your own terms. We want to just thank everyone that supports us through our PayPal and our Patreon accounts. We wouldn't be able to do the show without you. So go ahead and consider joining us for as little as $2 a month. And thanks to the subscriber that sent me this story about an African British, I told you guys, those are oxymorons, but an African woman who happens to be a member of parliament for the Labour Party in the divided kingdom. She was actually stopped on what she says was a racial profiling incident. And what happened is she actually has accused the police of racially profiling her after she was stopped while traveling in a car in East London. And she's called Dawn Butler. She tweeted about her complete experience, and she said she was pulled over in Hackney and had recorded the stop. And basically she was saying is that, the institutional racism within the British police is on another level. And every time they see, it's the same thing as in the divided states. Every time they see a black person with, first of all, she said they connect every black person to crime. So they think black is crime and crime is black, which is a, epic lie. This is some of that institutional brainwashing that they've been doing for decades against our people. But she also said that every time they saw, a black person in a nice car, they assumed that they had acquired that car criminally. And this is really the racism we see, which is so systematic and generational. It's like passed down through the genes of the Mzungus. Is because they are taught the same history that we are taught. So the history that makes us feel like we're downgraded, like we're down there, like we're the dark continent. I actually saw an Indian newspaper calling us the dark continent in 2020. I was like, are these people sick? Anyway, those are even stories for other days. But I was just, because that's what we've taught. So it's been made to make us feel inferior. So imagine what it's if you're told all of a sudden, the Savior looks like you, God looks like you, and in fact you're there to even save these people down there who look like you and me. So it's just like the same thing that has disenfranchised us has given the Mzungus this fake superiority complex that is just going to be epic when it starts cracking. It's going to be an epic shock for many when they realize things like, anyway, let me not even get there. It's not a prophetic update. So she actually recorded, her footage of the stop, which happened at like midday on Sunday, showed an officer saying police were carrying out searches because of gang and knife crime. And then she's heard on the video telling the officers, it's really quite irritating. It's like you cannot drive around and enjoy a Sunday afternoon while black. Because you're going to be stopped by police. And then she went on to say, if you're driving outside the area, I think that's ridiculous reason. And to make matters worse, so they said that they had gotten her car license plate and they were looking for a car like hers from somewhere called Yorkshire or wherever. And when she asked to see the license plate that they'd been looking for, that they mistook for hers, of course, they didn't provide it. So they called it an officer error. Probably because they didn't know it was a member of parliament. And now, the Met Police is actually, they say they are listening to concerns she had about the police stop and the officers involved. And she's quite entitled to raise them. You see this English, language of spells, beloveds. Language of spells. Someone can tell you to go to hell and you'll think they're sending you to heaven. Anyway, so the police, this thing went so viral yesterday that the police actually had to release a statement, and they said, prior to stopping the vehicle, an officer incorrectly, like really? Incorrectly entered the registration into a police computer, which identified the car as registered to an address in Yorkshire. Upon stopping the vehicle and speaking with the driver, it quickly became apparent that the registration had been entered incorrectly and was registered to the driver in London. Do you think if it hadn't been a member of parliament, that mistake would have been discovered so quickly? They added, the statement added, we would welcome the opportunity to discuss this matter further with occupants if they wish to do so. But, a lot of her fellow members of parliament chimed in saying, this is unsurprising. When will the Metropolitan Police give up on racial profiling? And it just shows you, like, with the pandemic, with everything going on, it's business as usual for the majority of racists in the world. It's business as usual. And I'm seriously, you know, the racist person is more brainwashed than the victim they racially profile, if you get my drift. But let me know what you think about this in the comments. I know we have a big audience from the divided kingdom. Have you been racially profiled in the past? I'd absolutely love to hear your story. Dr. Mumbi at Dr. Mumbi Show is where you guys can reach me. You can also check out our new website. We are making some final touches, but that's where all our information will be, especially our controversial videos will be uploaded there. So check that out, www.drmumbishow.com. Until next time, tuko pamoja.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Hello and welcome to Africa Watch on the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? Thanks to everyone that subscribed to the channel. You guys are awesome. I'm on such a good mood. Wow. It's a new era, guys. For real, for real, for real. Join me on Sunday on our Wake Up Africa edition. I'll be explaining all about it, my smile, why I'm just like literally about to jump off my seat. But you know what? I have a very interesting story for you guys. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I told you how the minister of Gabon, the president of Gabon had hired a white man named Mr. White to be environmental minister. And a lot of you caught a lot of feelings saying, Caucasians shouldn't have such jobs in Africa, blah, blah, blah. Former colonizer this, former colonizer that. Well, now I want to know. I'm really curious to see what you have to say about this. Allegedly, UK's Prime Minister Boris Johnson has just appointed a Nigerian as a junior minister or as a minister. And her name is Kemi Badenoch, and they're calling her a British of Nigerian extraction, and she's been selected into the cabinet of the new UK Prime Minister. What do you guys think? And she wasn't born in the United, you guys said I shouldn't call it United Kingdom, divided kingdom. Do you want us to call it that? She wasn't born in the divided kingdom, but she was actually born in Nigeria, and she spent her early life in Lagos and the US before finally settling in the UK at the age of 16. And she's actually married to an Anglo-Irish called Hamish Badenoch. Maybe that's why they trusted her. You know what I mean? Anyway, but what you guys think? I don't know. This is unprecedented. She released a statement and she said, I'm humbled to have been appointed a junior minister at the DFE. A huge privilege to be able to serve and make a positive difference on a number of issues close to my heart. So basically, she was, she's a computer systems engineer graduate turned politician, and she's been the parliamentary undersecretary of state for children and families. That's her new role. And she's only 39 years of age. Now, this is very interesting. I've been telling you guys, I'm telling you, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But I was telling you guys how important it is for us to have our own people in various different, former colonizer parliaments and, systems of government, so that we can also influence policy from that end. Because, it's one thing to liberate Africa, but we also have to be able to stop the oppression of Africa that is keeping a lot of our leaders in these, quote unquote handcuffs. But really, really interesting. And this is the second woman to be hired to a top level, second African woman to be hired to a top level position. The first woman was the Senegalese lady who the French minister hired as his spokesperson a couple of months ago. The French didn't take that well because apparently that's one of the top three, top tier level positions in the French government. And she was called all kinds of names. A lot of people even saying that she wasn't even really French because she'd been naturalized in 2016. No comments as yet, no negative comments that I've seen as yet. But what do you guys make of this? What do you think about the fact that, a woman, a Nigerian woman, has been hired to be a deputy, minister in the divided kingdom government.